Okay, so we're here on Kilimanjaro. This is the morning of day 3. Now today we get an earlier start. We shook the tents at 6:30 with morning tea or coffee, and we'll bring some washing water over at 7. And 7:30 we'll have breakfast. By 8:15 or so we'll try to set out on the trail. Okay, here's our camp. The red here is toilet tent. We've got 2 of them in camp, one here, one over here. These are both toilet tents, in privacy tents. So we've got our guest tents scattered about, and our dining tent, cook tents up there. In the back, here's our cook tent over here. Some of our porter tents are in these areas here. And then, boy, a great view of Kilimanjaro. And our camp at Shira, we're at 12,500 feet. And looking forward to another great day. Groups over here starting out slowly. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. We're heading up towards the Lava Tower Pass. You can see it's going to quickly go to Alpine Desert. So there'll be a lot less vegetation. Last night it's not uncommon that somebody doesn't feel well. We get to 12,500 feet. And they kind of acclimate at that point. It's important to keep drinking water. It's important to eat well and get some rest, and know that you might have a little headache or you might not sleep very well through the night, but do the best you can. And then we're going to head up over the Lava Tower Pass, and that helps with the acclimatization process, because we're going to climb to about 15,100 feet, and then we're going to descend 2,000 feet into the Bronco camp. So this day is all set up for acclimatization. Just going slowly and getting used to the high altitude. Here's one of our guests. Hi, Farrell.
Hi, Dean.
Starting out for the day. It's a long day today, so we kind of get an early start, and it's important to just move slow and steady as she goes. We'll have a lunch before the pass, and then we'll make our way up over Lava Tower, and then we'll descend down into camp. But we should be to camp by later on, kind of right at the end of the day, probably 5 o'clock. We'll take a long time today getting over the Shira Plateau and down into the Bronco Valley. So should be a good day. It's beautiful weather. On this day, it's important that guests pack a light pair of gloves and a beanie cap and a shell layer, along with their drink and snacks, because when we hit the plateau up here, it's really open and barren, and when it gets like that, the winds can just kind of sweep across up high. We're 14,000 feet or so, so it can be cool, especially when you're moving slowly. So that way, those are the layers you want. You know, not as much of a threat of rain, especially on a clear day like this, but definitely we want to be prepared for a little cooler temps when we rest, and some wind possibly when we're up on the plateau. So we're heading towards the Lava Tower. Looking forward to a great day, and here we go. Okay, time for lunch. There's our dining tent. Group's just getting here. We're just before the Lava Tower, and we're gonna sit down and enjoy a nice lunch in the dining tent and take a rest and have a great afternoon.
By accident, obviously, at that age.
Delicious. Really good. And they told me that kids' bottle sizes are actually too small for kids to do so.